There are loads more bedtime stories on BBC iPlayer. Just search CBeebies Bedtime Stories.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Momoa, Mr. Momoa, and I'm here to read you a bedtime story from my underwater kingdom. The sea is full of stories. I can tell you many tales of my amazing adventures in the sea, but I'm not the only one. Every creature in the ocean, from the mightiest whale to the tiniest tiddler, has their own tale to tell. And this book is about a very little fish who has some very big stories of his own. It's called Tiddler, and it was written by Julia Donaldson with pictures by Axel Schefller. Once there was a fish, and his name was Tiddler. He wasn't much to look at with his plain gray scales, but Tiddler was a fish with a big imagination. He blew small bubbles, but he told tall tales. Sorry I'm late, I was riding on a seahorse. Sorry I was late, I was flying with a ray. Sorry I'm late, I was diving with the dolphin. Tiddler told a different story every day. And at 9 o'clock on Monday, Miss Skate called the register. Little Johnny Dory? Yes, Miss Skate. Rabbitfish? Yes, miss. Redfin? Yes, miss. Tiddler? Tiddler? Tiddler's late? Sorry I'm late. I was swimming around a shipwreck and I swam into a treasure chest and someone closed the lid. I bashed and I thrashed until a mermaid let me out again. Oh no, she didn't. Oh yes, she did. It's only a story, said Rabbitfish and Redfin. Just a silly story, said Dragonfish and Dab. I like Tiddler's story, said little Johnny Dory. And he told it to his granny, who told it to a crab. And at 9 o'clock on Tuesday, Miss Skate called the register. Little Johnny Dory. Yes, Miss Skate. Spiderfish. Yes, miss. Sunfish. Yes, miss. Tiddler. Tiddler. Tiddler's late. I'm sorry I'm late, miss. I set off really early, but the way to school I was captured by a squid. I wriggled and I struggled until a turtle came and it rescued me. Oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did. It's only a story, said Spiderfish and Sunfish. It's just a silly story, said Devilfish and Dace. I love Tiddler's story, said little Johnny Dory. And he told it to his granny, who told it to a place, who told it to a starfish, who told it to a seal, who told it to a lobster, who told it to an eel. And at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, Tiddler was dawdling, dreaming up a story, his tallest story yet. Lost inside his story, he didn't see the fishing boat. He didn't hear the fisherman. He didn't spot the net. Meanwhile, in the schoolroom, Miss Skate called the register. Little Johnny Dory? Yes, Miss Skate. Leopardfish? Yes, miss. Leaffish? Yes, miss. Tiddler? Tiddler? Tiddler's late? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, still no Tiddler. 12 o'clock lunchtime, where could he be? Far away, the fishermen were hauling in their fishing net. This one's just a Tiddler. We'll throw him back to the sea. Tiddler was lost in the middle of the ocean where strange lights glimmered. And a strange fish flew. And he swam around in circles. He shivered in the seaweed. But then he heard a story that he knew. Tiddler rode a seahorse. Tiddler met a mermaid. Tiddler met a turtle who saved him from a squid. Tiddler found a shipwreck. Tiddler found a treasure chest. Oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did. Tiddler peeped out and he saw a shoal of anchovies. Excuse me, can you tell me where you heard that tale? We heard it from the shrimp, but we didn't know where she heard it. And they took him to the shrimp, who said he heard it from the whale. I heard it from the herring. I heard it from the eel. I heard it from the lobster. I heard it from the seal. I heard it from the starfish. I heard it from the place. The place said, just a minute, I don't recognize his face. I'm Tiddler, said Tiddler. I'm tracking down my story. The place replied, I heard it from my neighbor, Granny Dory. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, still no Tiddler, and nearly home time. Where could he be? Just as the fishes were finishing their lessons, in swam Tiddler at 3:30. I'm sorry I'm late, but I swam into a fishing net. I managed to escape, and I swam away and I hid. I was lost, and I was scared, but a story led me home again. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, yes, it did. It's just another story, said Leopardfish and Leaffish. Just a silly story, said Butterfish and Blue. It isn't just a story, said little Johnny Dory. And he told it to a writer friend who wrote it down for you. So Tiddler's tales traveled far and wide. The ocean is like that. You know, it's a big place, but everyone talks. And that's how Tiddler's stories became legendary. Being an underwater legend is not easy, and I should know. But Tiddler's legend helped him find his way home. What I learned from this story is that you don't have to be big like me to command the attention of all the creatures in the sea. Tiny Tiddler did it with his imagination, which goes to show what makes us powerful is not how big we are, but what's inside. Now it's time for you to swim off to bed, and in the morning, perhaps your dreams will give you lots of ideas of new stories to tell. And you can become legendary too. Good night, Tiddlers.
There are loads more bedtime stories on BBC iPlayer. Just search CBeebies Bedtime Stories.